continue to believe that dialogue and diplomacy should be pursued to de-escalate tensions and address underlying issues. Sir, it is also imperative that the sovereignty and territorial integrity of all states in the region be respected. Given the gravity of the situation, the Cabinet Committee of Security, CCS, met on 1 March under the chairmanship of the Honorable Prime Minister. It was briefed on the airstrikes in Iran and the subsequent attacks in several Gulf countries. The CCS was concerned over the safety and security of the Indian community in the region. It also focused on the implications for regional security and for economic and commercial activities. The committee was apprised of difficulties faced by Indian travelers transiting the region and by students appearing for scheduled examinations in these countries. It directed all concerned ministries and departments to take appropriate measures to respond to these problems. Honorable Prime Minister continues to closely monitor emerging developments and relevant ministries are coordinating to ensure effective responses. Sir, the conflict has continued to intensify and the security situation in the region has deteriorated significantly. We have noted that, in fact, the conflict has spread to other nations with mounting destruction and deaths. Normal life and economic activities in the entire region are visibly affected and in some cases have come to a halt. We therefore reiterated our call on 3 March for dialogue and diplomacy and spoke up for an early end to the conflict. I am confident, Chairman Sir, for the House joins me in expressing our sorrow at the loss of lives. Honorable Chairman Sir, while any development that negatively impacts peace and security in the world is deeply troubling, this ongoing conflict is an issue of particular concern for India. We are a neighboring region and understandably have obvious stakes that West Asia remains stable and peaceful. There are almost 1 crore Indian citizens who live and work in the Gulf nations. In Iran too, there are a few thousand Indians who are there for study or for employment. The region is key to our energy security and includes many important suppliers of oil and gas. Chairman Sir, the Gulf is also a major trade partner, accounting for almost $200 billion annually. The House is also aware that in the last decade, there has been significant investment from the region into the Indian economy. Therefore, serious supply chain disruptions and climate of instability that we perceive are serious issues. Furthermore, these include attacks on merchant shipping where Indian nationals often constitute a large proportion of the crews. We have sadly already lost 2 Indian mariners and 1 remains missing in such incidents. I know that the House joins me in condoning their deaths. Honorable Chairman Sir, Government has been assessing the situation in West Asia continuously since the 12-day war in June 2025. We noted the indications of growing tension and cautioned the Indian community in Iran accordingly. On 5 January 2026, Indian nationals were advised by the Ministry of External Affairs to avoid non-essential travel to Iran. Those already resident there were urged to register with the embassy, exercise due caution, and monitor the embassy website and social media handles. A second advisory was issued on 14 January, reiterating this advice to avoid travel in even stronger terms. The Directorate General of Shipping, Mumbai, in parallel, issued its own advisory on 14 January for Indian seafarers, asking them to follow embassy advisories and avoid unnecessary movement ashore. Recruitment and shipping companies were asked not to deploy or send Indian seafarers to Iran. Sir, reflecting our assessment of the evolving situation, the Indian Embassy in Tehran issued another advisory on 14 February urging Indian nationals, including students, pilgrims, business persons and tourists, to leave Iran by all available means of transport, including commercial flights. They were asked to contact the embassy for any assistance and provided with 24/7 helplines. This was again reiterated in strong terms through another advisory on 23 February. Some heeded these advisories and have left the country. However, many others have disregarded them and remain in Iran. We are also in touch with our fishermen who operate out of Iran. This was the situation till 28 February 2020. Once the conflict commenced, the Indian Embassy has facilitated the relocation of several Indian students in Tehran to places outside Tehran. An advisory update with emergency contact helplines was issued on 3 March. Similarly, facilitation was extended to pilgrims for their internal movement. Indian nationals who were in Iran for business reasons were assisted to cross over to Armenia and return home. The embassy in Tehran remains fully operational, in fact, on the highest alert. They are totally committed to supporting the Indian community in this difficult moment and in assisting Indian nationals who may wish to cross international borders. Where seafarers are concerned, the Directorate General of Shipping, through an order of 2nd March, has constituted a quick response team for immediate response, coordination and support functions. This too will function on a 24/7 basis. Honorable Chairman, sir, I would like to inform the House through you that every Indian embassy in the region has similarly issued advisories. The embassy in Israel did so on 28 February and 1 March, UAE on 28 February and 5 March, Bahrain on 28 February, Qatar on 28 February, Kuwait on 28 February and 5th March, and Saudi Arabia on 28 February and 8th March, Oman on 28 February, Iraq on 28 February and 5th March. MEA has set up a dedicated special control room to monitor the situation and respond to queries from those.
Let him complete his statement. Let him complete his statement. You are not allowing him to make the statement. That is not correct. Dalgalji, that is not correct. I allowed you to speak. Let him complete the statement. I will come back to you. Let him complete the statement. Please.
The MEA's latest update on this was issued on 7th of March. Honorable Chairman, sir, our diplomats have also worked hard to assist stranded transit passengers in hubs like Dubai, Doha and Abu Dhabi. They have facilitated international border crossings for Indian nationals, including from UAE to Oman and from Qatar, Kuwait and Bahrain to Saudi Arabia. Wherever there has been a partial opening of airspace, we have approved and undertaken commercial flights, including non-scheduled flights, to enable the return of Indian passengers. Our estimate is that as of yesterday, almost 67,000 of our nationals have done so. Sir, I also saw, today I was informed of a handout of information put out by the Ministry of Civil Aviation, and this tells us of the efforts government is making. Yesterday there were 15 inbound flights operated by Indian carriers which arrived in India, on the 7th. On the 8th there were 49 flights and on the 9th there are 50 flights. So I want to assure the House that every effort is being made that those who are stuck in the region, those who are transit passengers who are there, those who need to come back urgently from this region, we are making every effort.